This is your FastCast for Sunday, October 8th. The top story today, we continue to follow developments on the situation in Israel. Fighting there rages on as the death toll continues to climb. The Gaza death toll has risen to at least 414, including 78 children and 41 women at last check. Israel has responded by pounding Gaza with airstrikes and formally declaring a state of war on Sunday, setting the stage for a massive military response. The U.S. State Department says it's working to verify reports of Americans killed or missing due to the attacks. So far, at last check, there has been a report of 4 Americans killed. Jay Gray has the latest developments from the Middle East, and we want to warn you that some of the video that we're going to show you is graphic. Some viewers may find it disturbing.
The fighting is intensifying. Israel formally declaring war against Hamas after a surprise attack by the Palestinian militant group early Saturday morning.
This weekend, Hamas started a war against Israel with the worst massacre of innocent civilians in Israel's history. Hamas was more barbaric and more brutal than ISIS. Let me be crystal clear. Israel will respond with determination and force to their unprovoked war crimes.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with military and defense leaders Sunday. As Israeli forces continue to battle groups of Hamas fighters holed up in towns across the country while unleashing relentless air attacks on the Gaza Strip. A continuation, Palestinians say, of years of deadly violence and suppression by Israeli troops and leadership that many say led to the weekend attack. Hundreds on both sides are dead, thousands more injured. The Pentagon now confirming U.S. ships and aircraft are moving closer to the region.
The focus now has to be on making sure that Israel has what it needs to deal with this attack and to make sure that its citizens are safe and secure.
Jewish communities across the U.S. praying for that security and safety on edge as Palestinian supporters march in Chicago. Fallout from the fighting clearly stretching way beyond the battlefield. Jay Gray, NBC News.
Unprecedented. That's a phrase used by many in this international coverage of the attacks in Israel. That's also the word used by the Rabbi of the congregation Beth Shalom here in Anchorage. We've been talking with a variety of people to get their perspectives on Saturday's attacks, including reaction from Anchorage Rabbi Abram Goodstein. Rabbi Goodstein says the fact that the attacks in Israel on Saturday is 50 years to the month of the Yom Kippur War is not a coincidence. He says he feels like the attacks on Saturday were in recognition of that conflict half a century ago when fighting happened between Israel, Egypt, and Syria. Goodstein says the attacks on Saturday are unprecedented. Alaskans are reacting to the war in various ways, with the Party for Socialism and Liberation holding a small protest supporting Palestine Sunday afternoon. Coming up on the news at 10 Sunday night, we'll go into depth about what makes the Israel-Gaza conflict so different and have more insight from Rabbi Goodstein.
To have thousands of rockets go into Israel, and on top of that, have insurgents go and attack villages in Israel, that is unprecedented right there. I mean, and then to take so many hostages as well is awful and horrible, and a political flashpoint in Israel. I mean,
And in a lighter story back home on Sunday,
there are lots of factors. We always tell people not to rule themselves out, even if they're diabetic, even if they encounter some other disease in their lifetime.
Organ donation is a generous decision that can save not just one life, but 8 lives. And almost anyone, regardless of age, race, or gender, can become an organ donor. As of 2023, there are more than 100,000 people on the national transplant waiting list. And here in Alaska, there are more than 100, according to the senior communications specialist at Life Center Northwest. One of the main reasons the numbers are so high isn't just because enough people are not registered to be a donor, but because of other factors that they talk about.
First of all, organ donation is very rare. It's only about 1% of deaths that are even possible for organ donation to happen. Ultimately, the big thing is just where and how that you pass away. Because if you're in the, if you have a car accident or if you're up in the mountains and something happens and your body goes without oxygen for too long, unfortunately your organs are not viable to help somebody else. So that's why it's so rare.
This has been your FastCast for Sunday, October 8th. Thank you so much for watching.